Oh yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on here.
I think it's pretty cool what you guys are doing.
Very good questions and what a lot of research.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this.
That was too cool, bro. And I was between shifts. I'm between shifts right now. I think I'm gonna be between shifts the rest of my life.
Welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. Today's guest was born and raised in Montara and has helped shape the Coastside through nonstop community involvement. From Coastside Gives, the Mavericks Community Foundation, Pumpkin Festival, and GraphicWorks, her impact is everywhere. Please welcome our guest, Kelly Hoffman-Davis.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad you made time to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that there's two Hoffman families on the Coastside. That's a pretty unique name.
When I first started the GraphicWorks, Carl came in one day and he was like, I just need to know this Kelly Hoffman girl because everybody thinks you're my daughter.
That's funny. So you grew up in Montara.
I did grow up in Montara.
Talk about, playing in creeks and rope swings and riding dirt bikes. What was like key moments of like growing up back there that like you think back to?
I mean, I feel like growing up in Montara is like the quintessential Coastside kid experience, right? Like you love it while you're little, and then when you get to be a teenager, you hate it because you're trapped, which is different now because now my kids have e-bikes and can like leave Montara easily. We didn't have that. We had to get on a bus and figure it out. But, playing in creeks and catching tadpoles and riding horses and getting chased by cops on dirt bikes and learning to parallel park at Fairlawn View and all the things. Like, I just feel like that community there is so great. Nobody ever wants to leave Montara on the weekend, so you're kind of with your posse of your neighbors, and you all grow up together, and you start at Fairlawn View, and you end at the high school, and now it's cool seeing some of those neighbors come back and try and buy houses and build that same life for their kids. It's really cool.
It is like its own little town back there.
1000%.
Yeah.
We're looking at a place, my girlfriend and I are looking at a place on Drake Street in the back of Montara to rent potentially on Friday. So we might be neighbors.
There you go. It's a lot of fun.
Back
Halloween will be on a Saturday this year. It'll be wild.
Oh yeah, you guys are already pre-planning for that.
My house is like in the epicenter of Halloween. It's across the street from the witch's house.
She lives right next to Sam.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So do you know Sam Maliska? And his wife,
Sam and Sophie. They're on the corner of 4th and...
Oh, yeah.
She's pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a cool little neighborhood. And it's cool being outside and decorating for Halloween and having everybody walk by and chat. And it's just such a cool time in Montara.
Yeah. What's one of the best memories that you have from Montara? Like a standout story or something?
I don't know that I have a standout story. I mean, I feel like I had a really solid Coastside childhood in Montara. My dad's a sailor, and so we'd go to the harbor all the time, and I'd hang off the docks and poke at sea creatures, or my mom loved the sun, and the sun never comes out in Montara. It's better now, but it never came out when we were kids. And when it did, it was like the second it even kind of peeked out, she would grab all the kids, and she had a little mama posse, and they'd all go down to Montara Beach. And Montara Beach then was like only for locals. There was not parking all up and down Double Slide like there is now. It was this secret little beach that we all got to enjoy. It was great.
I feel like most of the time when people grow up in Montara, they spend a lot of, like, my Montara friends had more friends in Pacifica too. Was that kind of like, did you guys spend more time? Did you go like shopping in Pacifica growing up, or was that like
We definitely went Lindemar shopping. I think by the time you get to high school and that Terra Nova rivalry hits in, your friendships in Pacifica dwindle a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
You're like, ew, no, I don't want to go over there.
For me, it's like I've grown up in Moss Beach and still live there, and so it's like it's faster for me to go shop at Lindemar Safeway than Half Moon Bay Safeway. And if I don't want to talk to like
Everyone.
20 people that I know shopping, then like I'll go Lindemar.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, and the tunnel makes a big difference now, right? Because when we
Yeah.
were kids, I mean, I remember when the tunnel closed the year I got married was the year that the tunnel closed. And every day people would come into the GraphicWorks and be like, you should buy a horse. You should have a boat. It's just like, dude, if you don't have an actual solution to this problem, please stop. Because I was living in Pacifica briefly and had to drive all the way around to my office in Montara. I hated life or whatever it was.
That was, I mean, our buddy, an editor, Cole, his dad had to commute north, and so he would leave his car in Lindemar and ride his bike over the hill,
Smart man.
over Montara Mountain, hop in his car, go to work, and then do the same thing every day.
You just have to have 2 cars and a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
So funny.
We have somewhere in our house, we have this classic picture of when the tunnel was first being just like first construction. They had just started digging into the hillside, and it was my birthday, and we were going to Seabold to go bowling. And my dad was like, you know what? Fuck it, boys. And he pulled over on like the side of the road, and he's like, hop out of the car on this side, whatever. And he walked up to one of the construction guys, and he's like, hey, can I just get a picture of all the kids in front of the tunnel? So there's some picture out there where just all of us, we don't know what happened to it, but we're all in front of the tunnel of like first digs into the side. It's pretty cool.
Like when it was like what was oh my God, not Looney Tunes, but like when they're like a picture of the tunnel on the side of a wall.
Yeah, kind of like, it probably looks exactly like that. Just a couple of chubby little kids, just like we're like, yep.
I remember it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I got teary-eyed. I remember the last time driving through the old Devil Slide, just because I loved that view, and I felt like it kept Montara. Now everybody feels safe to drive through. I mean, there were years, I remember dating a guy that wouldn't come over Devil Slide. I was like, then this just isn't going to work. I don't know what to tell you. If you were afraid of this, then this isn't going to happen.
I feel like this is a long distance relationship.
It also was like a big deal in town, like when we knew that road was going to be no longer, because I'm pretty sure they gave a date as to when the tunnels were going to open. Everybody's just like, let's drive the road. Totally. So it was just like a weekend of driving the road. Well, like, wow, this is cool.
Did you guys ever get to drive it? Like actually?
No, not actually.
You guys never got to?
No.
I had to take like a test run, like with a driving instructor, because they were like, oh, we'll pick you up in Half Moon Bay, so you either had to drive 92 or drive Devil Slide.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel really old that none of you have driven.
I did. Yeah, I did. I had my license for like 20, 2 years before they like changed to tunnel. But
that's pretty cool.
It was I remember doing that, and then but getting your driver's license in like 2010 or whatever that hit different.
Yeah,
I used to have to drive across Devil Slide to prove that you could do it.
Don't they say now when the old road slides, they're just not going to do anything to it? They're just going to let it go because it's going to slide again one time. And just like
it would cost too much money.
Yeah,
for a hiking trail.
They almost did that with 92.
I mean, the fact that 92 is now the least reliable of the 2 roads is kind of wild, because that was always the one that felt like, well, we can always just go 92.
Yeah.
Who knows when the next geyser is going to come out?
They did a lot of work up there too.
They did
recently for water runoff, but
because that one area of the road was super slippery.
It was mossy.
Yeah,
like it got like a really durable moss on it, and people were just sliding out. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like a moss strong enough for a car's tires to lose traction and just.
Luckily, there was like a huge wall right there to catch everyone.
True. Right. Sorry, we're just kind of going on.
We're just riffing, this. But go ahead. Yeah.
Getting back into the questions, what did your parents do for a living when you were growing up?
My mom was mostly a stay-at-home mom. She used to do odd jobs at night, like she waited tables at the Shorebird, and so I remember laying under tables at the Shorebird, waiting for my dad to get off work, kind of thing. But she was always home, which was rad, because so much I feel like who I am is because of that. She was always at home making cookies, or we did so many hours of watercolors and colored pencils and art projects at that kitchen table all the time. She was always there to walk us home from school, drive us to practice, all the things. And my dad worked at Genetech, and it's kind of a standing joke in our house that nobody's 100% sure what he did at Genetech. My little brother interned for him one summer, and we were drinking beers one night, and I was like, so what does he do? He's like, I have no fucking idea. I'm like, you've been with him for 2 months every day. What do you mean? He's like, no idea.
He's definitely just CIA.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't going to work.
What was happening? But
sorry, side note. You're just making my mind scramble here, but have you seen the things of where, like, when people find out their parents were a part of the CIA, they don't find out until their funeral?
No.
because people show up in like
Black
uniform
suits,
and they're
yeah.
like, we just want to say thank you for like your father's service for CIA. They're like, what? This whole time I worked at Genentech.
Totally could be a possibility.
Yeah.
That is funny. Wait, so how many siblings did you have? You have
Just
a
me and my brother.
younger brother.
I have a younger
Okay.
brother who was like 2.5 years younger than I am. So we had kind of the same group of friends. He ended up going to Reardon High School though, and so that friend group changed a little, but he comes back and forth, and it's fun to.
Yeah. And that's when Reardon, I think, was an all-boys school, right?
It was
Yeah.
the first year they won the state championship for basketball. He was part of that team that
Cool.
made them the.
Oh, so was that with Rich Forsland?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my basketball coach.
Yeah. Talking about that with John.
Oh my God, that's all I ever heard about was
Yeah.
Rich Forsland's Reardon State Championship.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to see Richie shoot the ball? All right.
Sure.
Oh, Rich was a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. My brother just turned 40, and I threw him a birthday party a couple months ago, and he was over. And it was fun seeing all those kids that used to play basketball together. In fact, they brought a tequila bottle that they decorated as their OLP trophy. I'm like, guys, you're 40 years old. We're
Wow.
That's
doing the OLP.
That's a crazy OLP trophy. Give these
Yeah,
kids
did
some tequila.
How old was that tequila bottle?
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny.
So this is kind of going, I guess, into your philanthropy already, but what was homecoming like when you were in school? And what does it mean to bring it back for you? Because personally, like, homecoming was not an event to, missing it was not the biggest deal when I was in school.
Which was crazy for us to kind of discover this year, right? So, or I guess we discovered it last year. Talon was a freshman last year, and I remember totally hyping it up for him. Like, schoolwork's going to be late. You're going to do all this fun stuff during the week. And every day he'd come home and be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's fine. And so the high school right now sends you a crazy amount of videos. And there was a video of the giant relay. And I was watching it going, what the hell did I just watch? This is horrible. This is what homecoming is about. And so a group of alumni got together and tried to bring back the traditions. And so we chatted with the leadership teacher, and he was just convinced that it was like this generational thing and the kids didn't want to interact. And I know that the rules were looser when I was in high school. Like, we used to line the roofs with pumpkins. Did that happen? You guys were there?
It was,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
But we used to get to steal the pumpkins. And
Yep.
so
That's fun.
the farmers would like leave a sacrifice pile out. So it was like stealing, but not stealing, right? And then they'd hoist the cheerleaders up on the roof, and then they'd toss us the pumpkins. And I mean, they're never going to let a kid stand on that roof to do that anymore.
Yeah,
but they put the pumpkins up. And then
I mean, to be fair, the kids, at least when we were in high school, were the ones putting the pumpkins up.
they should.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
part
yeah.
of that.
It's setting kids up on the roof, and then
Yes.
We would use our trucks to go pick up the pumpkins.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
No more.
yeah.
They don't
They
let
don't do that anymore.
Now the maintenance staff does it, but at least they do it,
At least
because
they do
apparently
it.
there was a couple years that they wouldn't even let them put the pumpkins up.
Oh.
So anyway, so we started talking about giant relay was always my favorite time. I felt like it was a way that the whole school got involved. Everybody was muddy and giggly and having a great time. And so a group of alumni came together, and we started meeting with the leadership kids to show them old pictures and talk about what worked and what didn't. And giant relay was my job. And so I was sitting with 12 of these kids, and I was like, look, my goal is to get as many of you guys involved and to get you as dirty as possible by the end of this.
Hell yeah.
And they were like, oh, we can't have pumpkin guts. We can't do this. And so I called Holden, and I was like, I have seen football players projectile vomit on the field. Can we really not have pumpkin guts? He's like, oh, you can have pumpkin guts. I don't know who started that rumor. Have at it. So by the end of, right before the planning, they were like, I think we could get dirtier. Like, I think this is a good plan, but we could make this messier. And those faces of those kids when it came down to it, like, they were covered in mud and pumpkin and whipped cream and having a blast. And the kids in the stands were watching and having a good time. And we brought back like the cars on the homecoming on the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we the last year at the homecoming game, I remember watching the homecoming court, and like the kids weren't dressed up, that you could barely tell who the court was. And so we got the trucks and the fancy dresses and all the things kind of back. And it was so fun. The assembly was fun. All of those kids had the time of their life. They're already talking about next year. And
Oh, that's awesome.
And one of Mike Olifano's daughter, actually, right before school had started, sent me a text and she was like, Auntie Kelly, will you make me a senior frame for some senior sunset thing? I was like, yeah, of course. She's like, it's got to be purple. I was like, I'm sorry, do you not know what your school colors are? She's like, no, we have these class colors. I'm like, that is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. I am not making you a purple frame. And as I'm talking to these kids, they're like, oh no, all the classes have their own color. I'm like, homecoming is supposed to be unified. You kids need to want to bleed orange by the time you leave this place. This is crazy.
The only thing with color should be the portraits.
Yeah. So it's been fun, like watching them transform and get into it and get into school spirit. And it's been a really cool experience.
I had only gone to like, I think 2 homecoming dances all 4 years of high school. And not like I did anything special. I went and was just a wallflower. But I only went because Brian Von Allman said, you guys need to go to homecoming and go dance your asses off. We're like, oh, okay. And we showed up and it was just like, oh, you got to take a breathalyzer at the door. We're like, oh.
That happened.
Yeah, no.
That might have been my fault.
We never would have been able to go to a single high school dance.
Dude, prom is crazy.
Yeah.
You go to prom and it just takes you an hour to get through the door because they're like, breathalyzer. Yeah.
Breathalyzer, they like pulled me aside and patted me down.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm not even going to give away the way kids just get around it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anybody to know. I want kids to still be able to have fun. But we used to get like a limo and we'd bring a 30 rack in the limo and put it under the seat, or like on a bus, put it under the seat. And then on the way home, you could get into stuff before you get to the after party. Yeah. That was always fun.
Yeah. It was always funny with the like grad night because everyone would get really drunk, show up, and it was like not part of like school stuff. So the people that were doing, like my mom was like, oh yeah, they show up drunk, and then like 2 hours later they're sober and there's no alcohol in the building. So
yeah.
Hungover and having to watch a magician.
Showed up. We went to set because that was like the only thing they didn't breathalyze for. Yeah. Was that, and we went to the Tonasaki's house, and because it was right down from the IDSL, and just went crazy before. My mom and like Tammy Von Allman and all these people we already knew were the people letting people through the door, and we're like, what's up? Saying hi, and they're like, oh yeah, okay. Let us in. And then I had put like a Ziploc of vodka in my underwear. So I just go to the bathroom after a hand of blackjack or something.
A warm sip of vodka bottle bag. Like bagged vodka.
It's like, this is awesome.
Oh, so you mentioned the cheerleaders would put the pumpkins. I'm assuming then you were a cheerleader in high school.
I was a cheerleader in high school for the first couple of years. Okay. And then by junior year, I figured out I could be a stat girl for the football team. And I didn't have to wear the dress. I got to be on the bus with the boys. And
nice.
I mean, I'm sure their stats were horrific. I really knew what we were doing. But we had a great time.
Yeah. Nice. Did you play any other sports then?
I played basketball in middle school. And then by the time I hit high school, I had...
Cheer on the brain.
Okay. Other interest. It was fun.
Well, I mean, you've been volunteering since high school. What started that early drive to want to volunteer?
I think I was looking through old yearbooks in high school, and I had seen a Big Sister, Little Sister club that apparently they had years before that. And I was like, this is kind of rad. Like, can we do this? And I found a teacher that was willing to help me revive it. And so she walked me through the process of what it takes to put a new club together and all the things. And it's a club that's still going on and I don't think has taken a break since, which is pretty rad. Mm-hmm. And then right after high school, I started volunteering at the chamber because I was working for the people that originally owned the GraphicWorks. And part of their deal was like, we really want to be involved in the chamber. We don't have time. We're going to send you. And I was 18. And so it was a great way for me to learn how nonprofit boards work, how Robert's rules work, all these things that I never would have had that experience any other way.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Okay, so was that something that you would have like done on your own, you think? Or was that something that because you were working there and they were like, this is something that we want you to do?
It kind of happened organically. I have always loved planning events and doing big production stuff. And so I had started this event called Rock the Block at the time.
Oh, yeah. I miss Rock the Block.
It was so fun. Yeah. And it was I didn't start, it was because Cunha had burned down. It started as a fundraiser and then it just kind of morphed into this really big, cool block party.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my little niche at the chamber for the longest time. And yeah, I don't know. I think that I continue to follow a path wherever my life is going with volunteer stuff. So as the kids play baseball, I volunteer for baseball. And when they play football, I help with the football team or whatever.
Remind me after I have something I want to talk to you about. Now, knowing that you did Rock the Block, I have had this, like, me and my buddy Ronnie Beck have had a vision of something to have on the Coastside.
Okay.
And now knowing that you've done that, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about it.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, we have it like all planned out. We just were like, how the fuck do we start? Yeah.
Well, and it's harder and different now, particularly because of the Gilroy Festival. Insurance for events have gotten so much more expensive, and the rules are just more expensive, which is why you constantly are hearing Pumpkin Festival struggling now, because it just costs more to put an event on.
That was crazy the first year after the whole Gilroy Festival thing happened. Wasn't it? Did somebody get shot at the Gilroy Festival, or did the guy come with the gun? Something.
I think he like drove through. I don't know.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Something weird happened at the festival, but I remember the year, like right after that at Pumpkin Festival, we had crazy security. That wasn't. I felt so safe.
Yeah.
Walking down Main Street, I'm like, that's cool.
I wonder how long ago was that?
That would had to have been right after high school, so 2019. Somewhere in there.
Not that long ago.
Yeah. Because I was also playing football at CSM with a guy from Gilroy. I remember him talking about it. Okay. It had to have been like 2019 sometime.
Good recall.
Definitely.
I hope I'm right.
I'm sure you're right. You nailed the George Lopez thing.
George Lopez.
All right. So after you graduated from Half and Bay, you went to the California College of Arts, which is known for its fine arts as well as graphic design.
Yep.
Did you always have this idea that, because you were already, I guess, probably working at GraphicWorks at the time, but did you always have the idea that you wanted to work in something in the arts?
I really kind of didn't. I didn't want to go to school. By the time senior year had hit, I was over school. I didn't want to go to college anymore. I had an art teacher that really was like, yeah, you're not going to have a choice. Like, we're going to sit down and put your portfolio together and you're going to apply to colleges. And so she got me into an amazing college, helped me get a scholarship to go.
Wow.
And I had a great experience. It was cool to be in the city, but not super far away, to kind of get my feet wet. And I started as a painting major and was like, I don't really think I'm going to make much money at this. Like, I might need to start thinking about other things at this point. And so then I took some time off and went to community college to take some business classes. Because it was like, okay, if I'm going to figure out how to do art for my career moving forward, I got to figure out how to make money at this. And so I was going to CSM when I went into the GraphicWorks, and they used to have a sign shop right next to Ocean Shore, right on the corner. I don't even know what's there right now. It was Coastal Kitchen Design for a while.
Isn't it?
It's next to Edward Jones, right?
What is it? It's in the shopping center, right?
Yeah, it's literally like the one, because my desk used to be next to the wall, and contractors used to hit the wall of the building all the time and scare the shit out of me. But they just made signs, like garage sale signs, for sale signs. And so I came in and was like, I think you could make more money if we made your signs prettier. Like, let's figure this out. And so they let me start doing logo design. There was a restaurant, probably before your time, Ono Hawaiian Grill.
Yeah, it was in Miramar, of course.
And so Mike came in, had no budget, and I was like, let me design your logo and your menus. And so it was a really fun pro bono project that I ate Hawaiian food until I couldn't eat Hawaiian food anymore, because that's how he paid me.
R.I.P. on a Hawaiian Grill. I used to walk there all the time before, and then it was Loft
right by your house.
Yeah. And it's been Asian King Kitchen for like years.
Yeah. I think it was Mezzaluna for a hot minute.
It was. Yeah.
Asian King has been there forever.
They have. It was a pizza place, I think, for a while too, right?
Asian King's the funniest thing. It's like Asian King's and India Beach are two restaurants that have survived a long time, but you drive by and there's like no cars there ever. Yeah. And it's just pure, I think they're just takeout monsters.
Yeah.
For the Coastside.
India Beach is definitely a takeout monster.
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to that eats there doesn't eat there.
Yeah. It's like the girl you're embarrassed to be seen with, so you just go and get the takeout.
Wouldn't know I love my girlfriend either.
It's like the girl I'd be embarrassed to be seen with.
All right.
Oh my God.
So you mentioned Smithfield earlier. I just grew up through the whole Little League the whole time, and definitely have a soft spot for Smithfield. It's a beautiful spot. but damn, can it be terrible sometimes?
I think it's the coldest place on the planet sometimes.
It's like that is 20 degrees colder than the rest of the coast on one of those late season, like, those.
But it
those
can also
are
be
brutal.
really nice.
It could be way too hot.
Yeah.
It could all happen in the same day.
No in between.
That's what's wild about it.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent, God, I don't even know how many hours at Smithfield at this point. And it's kind of sad because my youngest he's in 8th grade, so he'll play juniors this year for the last time. And it'll be the end of Little League and it'll be the end of Pirates. And they've had a really cool year. They got to go to sectionals for All-Stars last year, which hadn't happened in a while. We have a really magic Pirates team that got to go to Cooperstown.
Nice.
We have a good little group of families. Those kids have all played together since they were like 6. Yeah. And so it's bittersweet to see it end.
How many juniors teams are there now? Just
2.
Like 2?
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 this year. I mean, the numbers have really changed because now there's like a Babe Ruth League, which is different than...
Is it still at Smithfield?
Nope. And we don't have one. And so we lose kids that want to play. And I kind of get it. When you go to 8th grade and you want to start playing on a high school size field to get ready for high school. So they're constantly kind of tweaking that juniors program to figure out what makes the most sense for kids. And
that's the thing is like with the area that we live in is like people all over the place are like, yeah, I'll pay 10 grand to have my kid on this team.
It's wild.
And it's like that. It's ridiculous.
That's not normal.
It's a conversation we have in our little Pirates family on a regular basis because almost everybody has played for another club off season of Pirates and they're all looking for something and it's way more expensive and somewhere else. And we all come back to being at Smithfield with the Pirates and those Memorial Day tournaments and
it's good. We got to keep it alive.
Absolutely.
Like, especially just Coastside programs like that in general. Like we were talking, when John Parsons was on, we were talking to him about Coastside basketball and how he started it. And he was just like, you know what? I started it with a pay what you can scale. All he had to do was cover the costs of the tournaments and uniforms. And then everything else was just kind of parents getting kids to the games.
Totally.
And he was like, I just wanted an AAU program because I noticed all the kids were leaving and playing with different people before getting to high school and then having to play with the same age group. So it was just like it just built that chemistry so much easier in the off season. It's just all those off season programs are so valuable. People don't even, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent, but we need to value them.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And now that I know you love Smithfield, I'll have to bring you one of the Smithfield shirts. We've made last year instead of like Little League, last 2 years actually, instead of Little League shirts, we did like Smithfield where legends are born, coldest place on the planet or something.
Yeah. Smithfield, David Blick played here.
I was debating because of course when I was a kid, that was like my first, I mean, besides like working for neighbors and stuff, that was my first actual job was being an umpire.
Nice.
And
everything's a strike.
Get me out.
Quick games.
But when I was that young, it's like even when it's like T-ball and parents are screaming at you and it's ridiculous. And part of me does like I want to do it again purely for the fact that I would love to tell parents off.
Yeah.
I would love to tell parents off. Like, oh, you want to do this? I can leave.
Yeah. I remember being at a tournament once, and this one area of the complex was just going wild. And I happened to be standing there talking to the tournament director. I was like, what the hell's going on over there? He's like, it's the 6U parents. They're always there. Like, wait, what? It's like by the time they hit 14, the parents don't say anything. Yeah. They're just quiet. Yeah. They sit there. And it's true. Even at Smithfield, the way that all the fields are kind of divvied up, you can tell where the young kids play because those parents are going bananas. And the juniors' parents are like,
yeah.
Nice hit.
Are they still selling like the 8-foot long licorice there?
8 foot?
Do you remember that?
No.
Dude, I remember like walking around a little rope of licorice. It was like 8 feet long. You'd like wrap it around your neck and go to your feet.
I mean, they still walk around with like handfuls of red vines.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, okay. Someone would make a killing selling sweatshirts there.
I heard there's plans for a new Smithfield.
That's what the rumors are.
Yeah, I heard it's going to have lights on like every field or something.
Is that just rebuilding?
No, I mean, there's been so many different conversations around it at this point. I think I've heard somebody had come in and wanted to turf or pave it, which would have been rad. But then it turned into, well, you have to lay new water pipe if we're gonna, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can't
A
like
lot of
run the snack
infrastructure.
bar sink and the sprinkler on field 2 or there's not enough water.
It's going to be like a 1 to 2 year long project.
Is that
They've been talking about it for like 5 years.
Yeah. But the actual work when it starts is going to be
Because now it's like the city
Crazy.
wants to do all purpose fields too, so kids can play soccer on it. And
because that is owned by City of Half Bay, right?
it is, but the way I understand it is it has to be used for baseball usage. The guy who donated, like grant deeded the
Okay, the
property to
land,
the
okay.
city said this is for baseball usage, which is great.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I'm pretty sure I saw that in the new plans there's a paved parking lot and roads.
Which would kind of be rad.
Be pretty insane. But
You miss out on
Rainy
the best.
days.
You miss out on the best drift lot on.
yeah, I was just gonna say rainy days.
I was gonna say, I remember a dirt parking lot and just getting hit in the chin by a ball that hit a gopher hole. A grounder.
That was the place where, like, if you didn't have a friend that owned a ranch, which a lot of people did, but you would just go there to
Yeah.
learn how to drift and
Yeah.
have fun on.
I mean, there's always donut marks in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fun.
And it's the best.
But it's different now because now there's a lot of homeless cars that have parked down there. And the city's done a better job about trying to move them out, but it's,
Isn't that why we have the hotel right up the street, or not the hotel anymore? We won't get into that.
yeah, great subject.
So what was your early career like before you made the decision to buy GraphicWorks in 2006?
I worked at the Ritz for a little while. I was designing like wedding. I worked at Club Concierge to help open the Ritz for a little while. Decided I didn't want to do that. I was going to school at the same time. It was one of those situations where they'd tell me I could go to school and work at the same time, but not give me enough hours. So I'd lock my door and do my homework in there just to make everything kind of come together. And so then I quit working there and I started designing wedding invitations for their clients and decided that I hated brides and they were horrible people. And then I walked into Gary and Kent happened to open the GraphicWorks right next to Ocean Shore one day. And I was like, how about this? Like, could I do this and go to school at the same time? And they were amazing. People, I feel like there are certain people that come into your world that change your life. And those two men changed my life and became part of my family. And they eventually wanted to move out of the area, and so they taught me the ropes and let me completely change the business. We still make signs and banners and those things, but most of the work that we do now is design work, logo design, branding, marketing for small businesses. And they really let all that happen for me. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys even wrap cars. A lot of local businesses.
We do. We do a lot of car graphics, which is great too.
You drive past a lot of them every day and probably don't realize. Like, yeah, there's a ton of them. BK Motors, Alifano, Coastside Technical.
Yeah,
It's
it's more often than not, I'll drive by somebody and be like, "Where'd that one come from? I didn't do that. I didn't leave my shop."
Cosley and landscaping. What the hell?
yeah. yeah.
We don't install them. I almost called him the other day to be like, "Dude, that one's crooked." Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you guys
No,
do the
that's
installs
I'm
on them
learning
too?
how to put the learning how to put the stickers on Coslino trucks. Actually,
Well, do you guys do the installs too? Yeah. So that's a ton of work. I mean, there's full vehicles. It's a full vehicle wrap. So print, like design, print, and install a full vehicle wrap.
It's a
and
big
like,
project
that's
for
huge.
sure.
And you'd appreciate this. The other day, Jimmy just got a new truck for work. Got a new like rack on it. All this stuff. It's an F-250. He's like, "Yep, the sticker just came in. I'm going to show you how to do it. We just need a little bit of painter's tape, and that's about it." And I was like, "All right, cool."
We made those stickers.
Did you? Nice.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but you're not installing them. Yeah, you got Gavin doing it.
Robin is actually pretty good at it
Yeah.
for the most part. Most trucks look pretty good, but I think I know the truck that you're talking about. That might be a little crooked.
Well, and to be honest, the body lines on trucks are hard now.
And
People all the time, contractors particularly, will come in and be like, "I build houses. I can put this on myself."
yeah.
Okay. And then they come back and they're like, "It's really crooked. There's a lot of bubbles."
the
Like,
truck that I think might be crooked might be one that Jimmy did. Allegedly, Jimmy.
It's hard. I tried to wrap a car one color and it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah, like just doing the like one. Yeah, no, it's Good on you guys. That's really difficult work.
That's a good business to be in. So then, do you know? I almost said Chris Farley, but it's Mike Farley, right? No,
Could be.
you know who
I
I'm
know,
talking
I
about.
know who you're talking about.
He does graphics. Well, no, actually paints like supercars and stuff.
Well,
for the
and
film.
he did like our sandwich boards
Mhm.
and
Cool.
like our sign and stuff like
What's
that.
his name?
I can't remember. Farley. I know
It's
that.
definitely
I've
Farley.
heard the name too.
Yeah.
That sounds very
I want to say
familiar.
Mike Farley, but I could be wrong.
Shout out Mike Farley if you're listening.
Your dad would definitely know.
My
who
dad
he is.
definitely knows exactly
Yeah.
who it is.
All the old timers in town just love Farley.
My dad never uses last names, so he'll be like, "Oh, I ran into Mike the other day," and I'll be like, "Oh, cool."
You're like, who's Mike?
Yeah.
There's
Mike.
Oh, there's
7 Mikes.
30 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Yeah.
This one, I know it could be a little sensitive, but AI has had a dramatic effect, from my understanding, on kind of like the graphic design business in general. How has that changed your work and what you do? And have you seen like a drop off in kind of like the smaller fish coming in to get work done?
I try and embrace it as much as I can. Like, I've got to use it as a tool, right? And so I think that there are designers and people in my industry that are very anti and really hate it and don't want to go anywhere near it. I'm trying to really embrace it as much as possible. We also giggle that it requires clients to really be able to articulate what they want, which most clients aren't very good at.
Yeah.
We do have a good amount of, not a good amount, 1 or 2 a month that will come in and be like, hey, I designed this logo on ChatGPT, but now I can't do anything with it because they're just flat JPEGs. And I'm sure that technology will change and they'll be able to have vector graphics and things like that. But as of right now, they can't. And so they'll design something that sometimes it's helpful because you get clients that know what they want but can't articulate what they want. And so if ChatGPT can walk through that process with them and it doesn't take me 6 weeks of answering questions and going back and forth, sometimes it's a good place to start. So I'm trying to embrace it as much as possible. I suck at writing, and we often have to write copy for websites or brochures or whatever. And so it helps with those kind of things. It helps with Instagram captions and things like that. And so I utilize it as much as I can where I can.
Yeah.
I probably should use. I probably should utilize it for captions on Instagram.
Yeah.
I just write. I'm just like, oh, what's a stinky? Because the clip today was just like David and Paul talking about a stinky bike, like the old bicycles.
Just
People commented, they're like, what is this? Emily commented and was like, what is this? I don't understand what David said. David's girlfriend commented.
That is funny.
Yeah, I just see it as like I don't know, from a small business perspective, if they don't have the capital to, outsource like the design and all that stuff, then it definitely is like bridging the gap for smaller businesses.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We giggle too, though, that some of those tools are available and people still need somebody to hold their hand. The
Definitely.
banner that's been on Burger King for like the last 6 years that says we're hiring, and it's rectangular, and then there's this little graphic in the middle that actually says we're hiring. We giggle about it all the time because clearly that guy went online to try and be like, I'm going to save money and buy my own banner on Vistaprint. And it's like, okay, but do you realize that was not a good move, right?
Yeah.
Did they not send him a proof? Like,
So I do feel like we have a different skill set. I think that that's one of the reasons that we've been able to be so successful over the years is that we also offer some expertise. We've been a small business here on the coast for 20 plus years. And so beyond just graphic design, we give some experience to.
And how many employees do you have?
Right now I have 2 full-time employees and then a contractor. And it kind of goes back and forth between 2 and 4. We have a little tiny office in Montara, which I kind of love.
Yeah. It's a very, very cute building.
It's a cool building. It's walking distance from my house. My kids used to go to Fairlawn when they were little, so it was like this perfect little triangle. And so I don't really have big dreams of a bigger building anymore. When I was younger, I used to be like, I'm going to get a big kid job one day. And I'm like, I kind of feel like this is my big kid job. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And
How's the new restaurant?
we actually had it for lunch today.
Taqueria
and?
Salon?
I think it's solid.
Okay.
I think that they're brand new, and so I think that it will get better.
Yep.
One of my employees had the birria burrito,
Ooh.
which I'd never seen it in a burrito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tacos before, and he really liked it. And what else did we have? Oh, I had a fish taco, which was delicious.
Nice.
So, and they're like a small family-owned business too, and so they're busy, which is great.
I always thought I want that Fish and Fritz location to become like a good bar. So bad.
Yeah, that'd be
So the lady who bought that building is a really good friend of mine, and she has big plans, and there will be a vision, I think, of something that you would be
sounds
stoked
like
about.
we're gonna have a bar. I always thought the hotel right there should have a bar.
Yeah,
that would be a sick spot for a bar.
But
That would actually be a really cool spot
just
for
a bar and
Just a
Montara
hotel
or
bar?
Moss Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is funny because they used to have a bar.
Yeah.
That building.
Dave's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate that you were so excited to say that.
Dave's.
Dave's. Great name.
My buddy's dad has the sign from it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Arrest him.
You got to get.
Moss Beach. What was the one in Moss Beach? We used to hang out there.
The one in Moss Beach was Dave's on the corner, right above from the corner, like
The market.
The market.
It's a house now.
Oh,
It's the house now.
Windows
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There used to be one in Montara too.
It's a,
So we had two bars.
Yeah.
it's a pink.
Twos.
Dave's is now a pink house. I think it's a pink house
Okay.
on the
Oh, so
corner.
that isn't even the bar I was thinking about.
No,
The two-story building across from the park in Moss Beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
it?
that's Dave's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I think so. I think so. Dan's.
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 Dan.
Oh, fuck you, David. It's not
Sorry.
so much more sense.
yeah.
Dan is so much more reasonable.
For a bar name, yeah. Oh, and
David's
Sage
dad's
Bakehouse.
name.
Yeah.
He went from his name to his dad's name.
And Sage
But-
Bakehouse right there's cool.
Fish and Fritz location has so much potential.
Yeah,
It does.
a cool patio too.
I'm
Like-
sad that the Army Navy store is closing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've been saying that for like 20 years though.
They just did a our lease is up, we're out
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
So I think they really are done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is a bummer.
Sage Bakehouse though.
That's true.
Before we move on from the AI topic, can you tell that our logo is AI on Ian's?
1,000%. I was going to call it out and I decided
Yeah.
not to.
You should have.
That's why we give the shirts
right,
away
yeah.
to just guests for free.
We had a really low budget.
Yeah.
As you're starting out, I think it's not a bad
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah. We had like $4 to spend. So,
if that.
yeah. It worked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
it'll
bad
get
at all.
better.
There are some that come in that I'm like, okay, even for AI, this isn't good. Like, what are we doing with this?
Yeah.
But I think it's great.
Yeah, we were ballsy enough to print it on 200 t-shirts. We
We're
saw
gonna
it,
commit.
That's the perfect one. Oh my god.
Yeah. We literally sent like 3 AI logos back and forth, and we're just like the middle one.
I was like, yeah,
That's it.
these are the 3 options I've been asking ChatGPT for 4 hours to change one thing, and then it just goes away.
Which is really funny. Like you had a great response as to not necessarily seeing AI as competition, but more as a tool.
Yeah.
That's a great response. But it is funny because people don't understand fully that to work with AI, you need to somewhat know what you want and to have overly descriptive input into the software.
1,000%.
It's really funny. Like, I don't know. I've never seen my dad use it, but I'm trying to imagine my dad trying to use AI. And he has used it because there's a logo that we made for something online. And when I had originally sent it to him, it had a period in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he sent it back to me and the period was gone. And I was like, how did you, like, did you use AI? And he's like, no. Did you use it? And he's like, I asked it to remove the period. It's like, that's
Well, and
good.
text is usually one of the things that really messes up. It's one of the things that people will come in and be like, this is the logo I want, but it was supposed to say, I don't know, Cat's Hat Shop, and it misspelled cat and hat. So could
Yeah.
you fix this for me?
Oh, did you say tax? I think
Yeah.
you said taxes.
No, tax.
Yeah.
Good Lord, if it starts doing our taxes, we're all up a creek.
Want to get your business in front of a loyal local audience? Between Shifts brings Coastside stories to life with real conversations, local legends, and plenty of laughs. Sponsorships include custom ad reads, shout-outs in episodes, and visibility across all our socials, all designed to connect your brand with engaged listeners who support local. Now please email betweenshiftspod@gmail.com for any inquiries. Thank you.
She's so good. The Von Allmans in general are just so great.
Tammy's, yeah. Whenever she would show up on a job site, she was just like the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light up a room, you're like, oh, yeah, this is the best.
Well, and he was the football coach when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
or Pop Warner. I don't know. He was
Pop
around.
Warner.
Probably Pro
Yeah.
Warner, yeah.
Because that would have been like Chad Burleson. No, Chad Burleson would have graduated before you, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Never mind. I don't know. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, he was high school.
Yeah.
Because that was after he went
fulfilled for
Pop Warner, high
I'm gonna ask her
school,
one more. Yeah, actually, probably not.
Burlingame. Yeah,
At this point, I already
I think.
forgot, so.
I don't know. Could be wrong. Then he came back to
It's been a
Half Moon Bay.
football heavy couple of episodes.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Nazar on last time too. So
Oh.
it's been like
Yeah.
a real heavy couple of football episodes.
I had never gotten to talk to Nazar about like football.
Yeah.
It was funny to talk to your old principal about football when you're in high school.
We're going to get back into a little bit of business and kind of just the same way that you were talking about, maybe not necessarily like you did get into the Chamber of Commerce, but it kind of happened organically.
Yeah.
Was it the same way with buying GraphicWorks when you did?
It totally was. The original owners got an opportunity to do some work down south. They asked if I could run the business when they were gone, and they gave me a lot of control when they were gone, which was great. I was able to kind of change the products that we offered, and eventually they didn't want to come back, and I kind of got to a point where it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to run this business for you forever, so I'm either going to buy it from you or I'm going to do my own thing. And they were super supportive and helped me finance to figure out how that all worked and made it super affordable for me. And it was great. They were at my wedding. I mean, those people have changed my life for sure.
So the business classes came in handy.
Absolutely.
So did you ever go back to the California Academy of Arts or whatever it's called? Yeah.
I didn't. And I still will see my my high school art teacher from time to time. We'll go have a drink. And I mean, I miss picking up paintbrushes because I don't get to do that very often. And I think it's one of the reasons I love volunteering for some of my kids' stuff, because those are times that I get to do whatever I want and not have anybody else control my design or my art. And it's more fun.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of the time it's probably someone else articulating what they want, not very well
1000%.
anyway, but,
Yes.
articulating what they want on a poster or side of their car. Yeah.
The baseball coach always teases me because I'll be like, we need to sign up for a Mother's Day tournament so that we can do Mother's Day t-shirts and we can do Mother's Day stickers and we can. He's like, you're just interested in the swag. Maybe.
Yeah. I think we should do a Mother's Day episode.
There you go.
Get 3 moms on.
Oh my God, that would be so fun.
That's in May, right?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, May, and then Father's Day is June.
Yeah. But we could always do like 15 minutes with each mom.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Release some like.
You should do 15 minutes with your own mom.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I have a list of family members that I want to just record like this, but never release, just to
you should
have
release it.
an
That's
interview.
right, too.
Yeah,
Put out the
that'd be
files.
cool.
Yeah. It'd be like
And I go to my dad, I'm like, Dad,
files.
I want to interview you on like podcast format, but I'm not going to release it. He's like, no. I'm like, it's literally just for us, because we've tried to get him to come on this before, and he's like, no. He's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, it's literally going to be me and you. It's going to be maybe an hour. I just want to get your life story so that when you die, your great grandchildren can know what they're. And he's just like, no. Like, all right.
They don't
You gotta
deserve
change-
I'll try again next year. Try again in retirement.
Well, switching up a little bit, but Montara Halloween, where you live,
It's an event.
inevitable. It's an event. Lots of preparation. I know that my friends that live close to you, they talked about giving away like 80 pounds of candy one year, and I was like, it's actually like pretty absurd. Like that's a lot of money in candy.
We give away like a refrigerator box size of candy. I think I bought 15 Costco bags. I don't know how many pounds a Costco bag is, but it's a lot. And then we have a big party. And the rule with the party is if you're going to come in and drink my food drink my beer and eat my food, you got to bring 2 bags of candy. So then all those people bring candy.
Nice.
And you go through all of it?
We go through almost all of
That's
it.
it.
And at the end, we usually end up with a little bit, which is great because Fairlawn View does like a holiday house and they need extra candy for gingerbread houses. And so it works out that I can pass it on to them. But it's an event.
That is such a smart rule that you made for your house party.
Yeah.
You got to bring a bag of candy.
That's what my friend said. They were like, bring beer or candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't
Because
did
we're
not
giving
translate
out
that to us. We just showed up with David and we're like, oh, free beer. And then,
I brought a bag of candy and beer. All right.
yeah, I know, but you should have been like, Gavin, just bring a bag of candy. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We had, when I was PTO president at Fairlawn, somebody had some kind of marketing scheme where they wanted us to hand out these postcards, and there was 1,500 postcards. It was like teaching kids how to do the stock market or something. I was like, I can do that. And so the idea is for every trick-or-treater, we'd give them this postcard along with their candy. And we gave away all 1,500 postcards on a rainy Tuesday night. And so like a Friday or Saturday night is bananas. But I felt like this year, and I think a lot of my neighbors did too, that Halloween is spread in Montara. It used to be really concentrated to like the witch's house and our little corner. And then it became like Cedar Street and some of the scarier stuff farther back. Yeah. And then this year there was like this psychedelic mushroom house, which was kind of right.
Yeah. And the rave.
And there's a rave.
That was so cool. We were walking out. We're like, what is going on over there?
I absolutely love the Monster Mash house.
Yes.
The Monster Mash.
It's so funny. It's like just like garage opens, Monster Mash closes, 5 minutes later.
Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. Just on repeat.
There's also
the arcade's rad. Have you been to the arcade?
No. There's an
this
arcade.
Lady has like a total old school arcade that she opens it up every Halloween, and kids can just play video games all night.
Okay.
Like old school, like Pac-Man and...
Okay, this starts now. Next year, Halloween is on a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to Montara. I don't think I'm going to do anything other than spend time in Montara next year. I might be living there.
This year.
I might have to have a party.
Yeah. This year.
It was in our disclosure.
This year, yeah, sorry.
Bought our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Oh, is there an HOA in Montara?
No, it was under
You're just
disclosures.
like, you have to provide candy.
Disclosures that Halloween.
By the
is
way,
my-
Halloween's crazy. I wonder, so have you ever been to that, there's like the Christmas lights in San Carlos where everyone drives, it's got to be in the disclosures if those houses ever
1000%.
sell.
Yeah.
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 And the bummer part about having a house is I don't know if we get to walk around.
Yeah.
Especially now that I have teenagers, because now I'm on beer patrol duty and making sure how many people are in and out of the house and what's going on.
Marking the bottle.
Yeah. It's a different...
Keeping stock in the fridge.
That was pretty funny. When we were at Sam's house. I'm kind of newly friends with Sam, but we were going to the city with David, and we stopped by Montara on the way up to the city. But we got to Sam's, and we're standing there, and he gives out beer, but also candy to kids. And this kid walks up, and I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, beer free? I was like, not for you. It was Brady Miller. Get out of here. His girlfriend,
Gianna.
Alifano's daughter, yeah. She was dressed up as the
Lorax.
Lorax. I was going to say Borat. As Lorax. It was great. But I was like, Brady, get out of here.
That's where the funniest thing about like when they're giving away beer, it's honestly the cutest thing to see the kids walk up and ask for candy, and then the parents will like shyly walk up and be like,
the beer free.
Is that for us? And my buddy's like, yeah, like grab one. It's like the same shyness that kids have when it comes to like asking for candy, the parents have for asking for a beer, and it's great.
It was pretty funny. There was one guy that walked up and he's like, beer's free? And Sam was like, yeah. He's like, you want one of mine? I was like, sure. And they just swapped beer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty
It's
funny.
such an experience. Like if you've never been to a Montara Halloween, like there's people that have obviously probably live in like Oregon or whatever that are listening to this and have probably never been, but
yeah,
it's such an experience.
It's
Montara, California, Halloween 2026. Here we go.
You're gonna need two.
Everybody's going to Kelly's house.
Sorry.
All right, we'll get back into this. But you've been volunteering since high school when you started with the Chamber of Commerce. But what just motivates you today to continue to put in that time and effort into volunteering for things like the Pumpkin Festival, the Mavericks Community Foundation, and Coastside Gives?
I mean, it sounds cheesy, but we live in such a magical, cool community, and it really only happens because of all of these nonprofits, which is one of the reasons I love Mavericks, because it's really this umbrella for all of the other nonprofits that are here. And when new people move into our community, which is happening more and more, they're not investing in our nonprofits. They're not volunteering. And so anywhere that I can help out, whether it's with my kids' activities, and honestly, it's a great way to stay connected to my kids, because I'm also in this era of like trying very hard not to embarrass my teenagers, but still also wanting to be around and not miss out on this moment. Of all the things that COVID sucked about, it did make me realize that this is like this finite little moment of my life, and I'm going to really miss sitting at baseball games and football games and doing all the things. And so if I can volunteer, I have an excuse to be there. And the kids, I feel like as they get older, they recognize it and appreciate it more than they used to. Talon, for sure, for homecoming this year had a moment of like, okay, that was kind of rad. Like,
Cool that you did that. Yeah.
and so I really feel like that's why I do it. And it changes, and my business is cool that way too, right? Like we serve a lot of small businesses here in town, but we also serve a lot of nonprofits. And I can't donate or volunteer for all of them, but I can give advice and I can help and I can discount products and help out in other ways that way. So it's a cool way to stay connected to the community that's given me and my family a ton.
Yeah. And to kind of piggyback off of the topic of like this period of time in your life, how you're going to want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I know, if I ask my dad, I'm like, I know you enjoyed high school football.
1000%.
Out of nowhere, my mom's just like, I really miss watching football. I'm like, oh shit, Mom, you're going to make me cry.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of leading me into, I mean, you do so much of this when it comes to like Coastside Gives, Mavericks, Community Foundation, all this stuff. What's the hardest part of being involved in so many of these projects when you're also trying to keep your own life normal, run a business, all that sort of stuff?
Saying no. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
I try hard, but you want to help in all the ways that you can. And so I am more choosy about where I can put a lot of energy into. And I honestly just try and put my kids first. And so early on in owning a business, somebody had come in. I was working late. It was before I had kids. And he was a contractor and he came in and he opened the door. It was like 9:00 at night, but he'd seen all the lights on in my office. And he's like, you'll never be done. Like, just to be clear, there's always going to be an email. There's always going to be shit. Go home. And he's right. Like, you got to set some boundaries. And so I'm really good about like, oh, you sent me an email on Saturday at 4:00. Too bad. Like, I'll respond on Monday because right now I'm doing kid stuff and sports stuff. And I try very hard not to check emails when I'm on a field or any of those other things.
That's really good.
Yeah. Brian Overfeld talked about that. Like, don't call me unless the building's burning down.
Yeah. And even then, don't call me. I'll get back to you in the morning. That's what he said.
I remember one of my employees was like, well, what if there's an emergency? I was like, we make signs. There's no emergency.
Yeah.
Nothing that can't be solved next Tuesday.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
And then what about your favorite Pumpkin Fest poster that you've done? Well, first off, how many years have you been doing the P-Fest posters and merch in general?
So that's kind of a tricky question. We often collaborate with artists. So some years we'd hire outside artists. Some years we've rotated within our office. Last year Laura did it. The year before Ronan did it. Ronan's is one of my favorites. He did the 50th. It's got like the gold on it. Yeah. We've been doing the merch for like 50.
Wow.
And it hasn't always been our art. They used to do a contest back in the day, and there were some posters that made me want to die because they just weren't made to be on a sweatshirt. You know, it was a beautiful illustration with colored pencils, but I gotta sell T-shirts with this. Like, this is not. Last year I did it. I think I'll probably do next year's too. We're almost done with that. That's the thing. Everybody's like, how was Pumpkin Festival? I'm like, I'm already working on next year's Pumpkin Festival. By the time Pumpkin Festival comes around, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So was the one that you just did, was that the one where the Cowboys pulling the...
And that was really Mel and Cameron had that's a plow that was designed here in Half Moon Bay. It's in the Smithsonian. For years, they've wanted that poster. And I was like, nobody cares about the plow. Like, I don't want to do the plow.
I thought it was so cool. And I saw the cowboy, no face with the hat down and pulling the plow behind the horse on the bluffs.
Yeah. So that's their vision. Yeah. And it was a fun project and shirts sold really well. And it was a great Pumpkin Festival overall. I also really love some of the really old vintage posters. I've spent years, I mean, for the 50th, they brought them all out, which was cool. But before that, I would go through people's attics and look through all the old pictures. And it's a cool history that we have here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that here in a couple of weeks. We're stopping recording podcasts because we're like 3 or 4 months ahead for releases. Yeah. And we're going to do podcast/video format prohibition on the Coastside video project.
Cool.
We're going to talk to local families and then investigate just local legends. Like
I want to know if there's really tunnels under the $500,000.
Okay, so
That's your-
we've kind of already busted it. It's the old foundation. It's just the old foundation that
It's just a crawl space down there.
yeah.
So it could-
no. It's literally just like beams coming down that they drove into the ground. Yeah.
Well, that's
Kind of boring.
You could,
We should. No, there's tunnels. I'm just kidding.
I like that. It's kind of boring. It's boring tunnels.
It's pretty good.
Boring tunnels. Good band name. So just a minute ago, you were talking about Laura and Ronan and them doing the posters, and you kind of giving them that creative freedom.
yeah.
When it comes to like the philanthropic part of like giving back, do you encourage the people that you work with, or just in general, do you encourage people to give back? And
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it's been fun. We talked a little bit earlier about Laura, and it's been fun watching Laura. She's been there, God, maybe 10 years now.
Yeah.
She's been there a long time. And watching her, I mean, she sits right next to me. And so she listens to a bunch of the Coastside Gives planning. She understands how the programs work. She understands how nonprofits can be successful at it. And so watching her get involved with her own nonprofits now and push those forward is really fun.
Yeah, and she's doing a great job at it. Like
Amazing.
she's so motivated, and she does so many things too. She's constantly busy with doing like photography for everything too. But like, did you like kind of encourage her and be like, here's a good place to start, or was there kind of like a spot where you were just like she saw you doing it and led by example?
I think it's kind of organic too, right?
Yeah.
Like she had a passion. It's an organization that she participated in when she was in high school. And so I definitely help and encourage and want her to live that out as much as she can.
And we're talking about the Kariwa Sister City Japanese exchange program,
Yes.
by the
Oh,
way.
sorry.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it. And then last part to that is, is there a spot where you would encourage people to start if they are looking to get into?
I mean, whatever you're passionate about, right? So whether it's trying to connect with your kids or it's the environment our nonprofit community here is dense and there is something for everybody. It's one of my favorite things about Coastside Gives. We do a giving guide that comes out right before Coastside Gives, and it's kind of like a directory of all the nonprofits here. And one of my very first years I was at Fairlawn View, and one of the teachers who was about to retire came up and she like slammed the book in front of me and she was like, I know what I'm going to do when I retire now. And I was like, okay, what are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to volunteer for these nonprofits. And I've never even heard of these ones. And she had them all like
marked out,
book-deared. And it was like, this is rad. Like, yes, it's about the money, but it's also about awareness in our community and getting people involved and understanding how they can help. And it could be as simple as umpiring a simple one game. You have a free weekend. We could really use an umpire. Come umpire a game, run the snack shack.
Yeah.
Serve a meal at Coastside.
Oh my God. If you ever umpired a game right now, I would go and just heckle the shit out of you.
If you get him on a grumpy Dave date,
Dude,
No Starbucks before a baseball game would be such a bad calling game for David.
it's a cold day and he wore a
Starbucks
t-shirt.
is a vacation thing, okay? It's not a normal thing.
Get this man a glass of milk.
But with Coastside Gives, I do. That's probably the coolest thing to me is how it just throws everything in one basket, as opposed to otherwise they're kind of all fending for themselves, and that's awesome job on that, because it's really cool to be able to see just lists down, and it's like you can just pick one.
Yeah.
And focus on that if you want.
Yeah.
I know, like, all growing up, my mom's always been part of Coastside Hope.
Yep.
And she's been doing the, like, Christmas drives and, like, wrapping presents for
Ever.
20 plus years. And that's just, that's what she does.
Yep.
She picked her one and she just does that. And yeah, it's awesome to see.
I love it that I feel like it makes it palatable for everybody in our community too. I think people sometimes get this feeling that they don't have a lot of money, and so because they can't donate $500, that they just can't donate. And so the fact that it's a minimum $10 donation, and a lot of the nonprofits are looking for just that $10 donation, help us win a prize by making $10, and is a great way to get everybody involved in some aspect or another. And it's cool to also watch the schools work together. For the longest time, every school had a jogathon and an auction and like the same set of fundraisers, and they were almost competing against each other. Every nonprofit or every small business here was getting hit up for every auction around the same time. And so watching the PTOs come together early in Coastside Gives and say, you know what, let's come up with a strategy where we ask parents, instead of giving our school $100, give $10 to every school here on the coast and help us win these prizes. And it worked, and it showed some camaraderie amongst the schools and these other nonprofits. It's really cool to watch them all work together, because really they're all fishing out of the same small pond of donors. And so the fact that they're willing to share tips, and it's rad.
And it is fun that it's like prize driven almost too, right? Where it's like we every year we're like, hey, like Uncle David, you're in North Carolina, but donate. So we get a North Carolina donation, and you know, and then it makes it so palatable on Instagram to see the picture, usually of Laura holding up a giant sign in front of a building or something, and she dresses up for all of them. But it's so cool that you can like post it and be like, hey, you know, like this is the nonprofit we really care about, and you get to kind of be more vocal about it and show your support in like a way that's just so much. You just repost it on your story.
It's the most magical thing I've ever participated in. It's so cool on so many different levels.
It's definitely the it's like the newer nonprofit support system that I feel like in our community we're going to have people through each generation that step up and to kind of take on this whole I guess you'd call it community development, but you know, you kind of are a front runner. You yourself are kind of a front runner in this whole community development situation with Coastside Gives or all the other nonprofits that you volunteer for and your company. But I'm interested to see what comes after that, because it's a newer idea, and it's cool to see that new idea come to fruition and carry through. And I wonder what our generation is going to be like when we get there. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
What's a moment from Coastside Gives that has kind of stuck with you emotionally over the years?
I mean, that moment that I just shared with Ms. Perucker was one for sure, because I do think it really reinforces the fact that it's also about awareness and not just money. I also very clearly remember that first meeting of all of us sitting around the table and this lady being like, I want to raise 10 grand in a week. And we all thought she was insane. And we raised $2 million last year. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
And the fact, I mean, nobody wants to sell a goddamn candy bar. They just don't. I don't want to buy the candy bar. You don't want to sell the candy bar.
They're giving away in Montara in October.
So like coming up and teaching people how to use different ways of fundraising is really cool. Those first couple years when I introduced the social media prize and having ladies in the audience that are like, I don't know how to use Instagram, or I think it was Facebook, but this isn't fair. And it was like, well, let us teach you. Like, we're trying to teach you skills that you can use outside of this little window. Don't you want to be able to reach a bigger audience? And so now those nonprofits know how to post things on social media, and it's really rad.
Those are the people that now post every nonprofit on their story every day. Like scrolling through them all. It's good though. Yeah, it's
a cool movement, and I think that the Mavericks is now looking forward to like what they're going to do next, right? So Coastside Gives has established a good footing. We have a good, I feel like everybody in the community now knows what it is, where for years took a lot of explaining. It's not a chili cook-off. So it took a lot of, okay, this is how it works. This is how you engage your donors. And now that we've gotten there, now I think the Community Foundation is wanting to be a real community foundation. And so we stepped up during the shootings at the mushroom farm and helped with the Coastside Gift Victims Fund. And right now we just gave away some food grants for food insecurities during the SNAP crisis. And so now we're trying to figure out like how else can we aid our community beyond just this one event.
So you really do have to stay current too with like things that are going on. Yeah.
And you can't just run, I mean, even with Coastside Gives, you can't just run the same campaign every year. We have to continuously come up with ways to re-engage the community and the nonprofits.
Yeah, it's a living organism.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what's been the biggest surprise? I mean, you grew up on the coast yourself. What's been the biggest surprise to parenting teenagers on the coast side?
Parenting teenagers now is kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Gianna Olifano was over one night and she was asking Mike about going to a party, and they had a conversation, then walked out of the room. And I was just dumbfounded. And Mike was like, "What is that face for?" I was like, "I never asked to go to a party ever. Your daughter just asked you to go to a party." She's like, "Well, she knows I'm going to track her." I was like, "Oh my God, you're right."
Technology guy.
But it's different, right? And same with, Talon's 5 minutes late from school and I get 15 freaking text messages about a tardy. And it's like, God damn it, I want you to be able to skip class sometimes or be tardy. Like, that's part of being a teenager.
Yeah.
And so it's trying to balance that line of like letting them have an authentic childhood and teenage world, but also keeping them safe and making sure they're not dumbasses and making sure they're kind people. So it's definitely a different world. My oldest is about to start driving, and that's a whole nother level of stress.
What cars lined up for him?
He has been working with Davey at Coastside.
Oh,
So nice.
And he loves it. He does that in between football and baseball season. And so he'd saved up all of his money and he bought this giant hillbilly wagon.
Classic.
Which doesn't really seem like the best first car to me, but my husband keeps trying to tell me that he will beat whatever he hits. And again, I don't really know that that's the best practice either, but he's excited and I'm excited for him. And he's a dirt bike kid and knows how to maneuver vehicles. He'll be fine.
Just remind him this town's too small to cut anyone off and not have them call your parents.
Well, they know that now. And even on their e-bikes, we were giggling. Our upper bedroom had the door open, and I heard some lady roll down her window and go, "Talon, I'm calling your mom. You ran the stop sign." So they know.
Yeah. Growing up, my dad always told me, he's like, "There's always somebody watching.
1,000%.
You're doing something good, somebody will tell me you did something good, but you did something bad, I'll hear right away." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I was down at the skate park that used to be right there, and I just ran across the street to go get something at More for Less. And sure enough, it was my aunt. I was dumb enough to run in front of my aunt's car, and she called my dad immediately. She's like, "You need to tell Gavin to be careful." And he's like, "Gavin, you fucking idiot." And then also with the tracking stuff, like we had a kind of an interesting high school experience because we were on the front end of where your parents were like really able to track your cellular.
It's gross.
And
I can't say that any of my friends were getting tracked.
Oh, dude, there was one time I was at Zach Henry's house and we went to a party at Tanitas Beach because it used to just be hike down the creek and nobody else could get there. They had a DJ on the beach, all this stuff. It was awesome. My sister was there. My sister was a senior. I was a freshman. It's like, this is so cool. They're giving out drinks. And I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, that's dangerous. DJ's just pouring drinks. No, we're at like 7-Eleven at like 3 a.m. And I get a call. I'm like, "Oh no, what is this?" It said Len, and I was like, "Oh God!" And I didn't answer that call. And then my mom called me. I was like, "I'm gonna answer my mom's call."
Yep.
"Where are you?" "I'm at Zach's house." "You're at 7-Eleven. What are you doing?" And the next day, I just scooped up goat shit all day.
Yeah, it's a different, and having my kids now go to the same high school that I went to school, and there are teachers that were still there. And so Talon will come home and be like, "So-and-so's mom said you did X, Y, and Z." I'm like, there should be some mom code there.
Yeah.
Like, why would she tell you that story?
That's crazy. Why does she hate me? You know what? Actually, I remember something about her.
It's an interesting time, to say the least. Because I don't want to rob them of all those things. This is a cool place to grow up as long as you're not being dumb.
That is one of the cool things. Like, I can rag on like kids and e-bikes all day long if I wanted to, but because there's a bunch of dumbasses out there for sure. But it is very cool that, like, when I was their age, it was the bus.
Yeah.
It was the bus and regular bikes. And like the fact that they can just like push a button and go 20 miles an hour, make it to wherever they want to go.
Totally.
It's like literally on a trafficy weekend, it can be faster than driving.
I mean, it's
for them
totally
get
changed that isolation of Montara.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah,
time.
sure.
They're like, I'm
Yeah.
going to go to El Granada. I'm going to ride to school today.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, speaking of that, you did choose to end up in Montara, right? To
Yeah.
raise breeding talent, and of course Vader,
Yes.
who we haven't mentioned yet, but that beautiful little French bulldog, right?
It's the best.
Yeah. What was it like? Why Montara? Why was that the choice of all places on the coast to end up staying? And
I mean, in retrospect, I probably should have gone somewhere where it was sunnier because I do really miss the sunshine. But my parents live on 7th Street still.
Okay.
And so that's magic to me. My grandparents didn't live in the same state. And so when I had kids, I really loved the idea that they could walk up to. Talon ran away once. And by run away, he ran from 5th Street to 7th Street. To
Yeah.
packed his bag.
house. Yeah. And so I love that they're right down the street and can help out. And I love that they can ride their e-bikes. And as much as so many people in Montara are not so fond of that at this point, but I love that they're able to still get parts of all of those things. And
Yeah,
that they
Definitely.
Yeah.
grew up catching tadpoles. And
it's one part of the coast that seems like it never really grew with like the tech people coming in. It stayed kind of in the present.
it's amazing how many people are still there that have been there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah. And I feel like especially that like 7th, 8th,
Huh?
like that upper,
Yep.
I don't know, steep Montara.
Totally.
Like that part is like, it's all old.
It's all old.
Yeah. Like long time families.
And
Yeah.
my dad is a sailor and a motorcycle guy and always had crap in the front yard. And I kind of grew up with I like being able to park your boat outside if you want to and not have all the houses look exactly the same and be able to go to your neighbor's house and ask for sugar or whatever it may be.
One egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you balance your professional life with your family life? Like, what are some practices that you have or core values?
I mean, it sounds cheesy, but I really have a really amazing husband that allows me to get so much of this done. He has a more regular 9-to-5 job, even beyond 9 to 5. He helps balance all of these things for me. And so because he has taken a big kid job, I'm able to volunteer more and help with my kids and have a job that has more flexible hours. And he's amazing. I don't know how I would do without him.
And how did you guys meet?
He was my best friend's older brother.
Nice. Classic.
He's 11 years old.
You like your best friend's older brother?
Happens every time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was planning her 21st birthday party and he had come around because he was older and out of the house and I had never seen him before. And all of a sudden I was like, who's that guy? What's going on? So it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he grew up in
Cool.
Moss Beach. And so we had he wasn't shocked when I wanted to move to Montara. And we actually had bid on a house across the street that turned out to be haunted.
Oh.
We talked a little bit about haunted Montara houses. And I was devastated. We wrote an offer letter. It was really the house I wanted to live in. It was like, had cool energy, had a painting studio in the backyard. My mom had a picture of me sitting on the porch when I was a kid. And so when I wrote the submission letter, I was like, let this be the life I can give my kids. And they didn't sell us the house. And then I met the woman at a soccer game and we started talking and became friends. Our kids are the same age. And she, somehow or another, I found out that she'd bought the house for $5,000 over what we had offered. And like in the scheme of a house, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And I was really upset about it. And then as Mackenzie and I became better friends, she started telling me stories about the little girl who haunts her house and turns the shower on at night. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
Wow.
And so I now think the lady who owned the house knew my parents and was like, yeah, I can't sell her that house.
The water bill's insane. Yeah.
Montara water is insane.
Yeah.
Felix would have been a fun guest to have over at that house if you bought it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch Felix episode.
It'll be good. Yeah. We have a medium coming on named Felix Lee Lerma. He does some group readings in town, but Kelly's very familiar with him. So we were talking about him earlier on and we're all very nervous about the interview, but it'll be fun.
He's great.
Yeah. It was funny. I was like, do you typically have like a beer on the episode? We just try to be kicked back. I was like, do you want beer, wine? And he was like, oh, I'll take red wine. And then I described to him BikeWorks and how it's one of the oldest farmhouses in town, and how they've had a medium also come by a couple times to talk to the spirit. And he's like, I don't think I'll do alcohol. Fuck, I shouldn't have said anything.
I'm going to be locked in for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super cool. Well, between running GraphicWorks, raising 2 teenage athletes, and organizing events like Homecoming and Pumpkin Fest, I guess I kind of already asked you how you balance that between you and your family, but like all that nonprofit work, like it's nonprofit for a reason. Like I don't assume maybe you get very little money. Like what gives you the drive to just continue to do that?
I mean, you see the difference it's making in your community, for sure. And, working at the high school and helping the kids and the sports and being able to help the athletes and bring back some of the things that I feel like has died at the high school over the last couple of years, whether it be from COVID or a change in technology with a generational gap, whatever it is. Like, it's fun to really see the kids get excited to bring some of those things back. It's cool to see a change in our community with Coastside Gives and Mavericks. And so you make choices and sacrifices, and I spend less time with my girlfriends than I probably would like to, but we balance that out too. And I mean, I feel like I've also built a really strong network of other business owners that have become my Jen Segali from Garden Apothecary. Do you guys know her?
I don't know.
You know what a Garden Apothecary is on Main Street, though, right?
No.
Oh.
She had this epic store, 2 stores on Main Street, and now she's consolidated a bit. But we went to school from kindergarten together, and then we both kind of got into our career paths in high school. And so she was the only person I could talk to when I was 19 talking about payroll. And so you find friends that you have similar.
Yeah. I believe Mariah Betancourt told the story of like when the building next to Feed and Fuel came up for rent. It was Jen that was like,
totally,
this is
the spot.
Is your place. Like, and she was like, okay.
It was the perfect spot for her.
And what do you hope to build and grow in the next few years?
I'm hoping to transition out of Coastside Gives this year. I was hoping it was going to be last year. But I want to kind of pass that torch on. And then I'll probably spend more time up at the high school. My kids are going to be there for the next 6 years. So I'll put some time up. I'm Cougar Booster president right now. And so I'm going to help more with sports and raising money for the sports programs up there. And continue to build my business, but try and be as present as I can while my kids are around and in the house, and kind of want to hang out with them.
I mean, we didn't even really touch on it, but you're running Cougar Boosters right now, aren't you?
I mean, I would not say running Cougar Boosters.
Okay.
I would say, there's a wicked cool team of people that put a ton of hard work into those athletes. And so, it's a big beast, and I'm learning step by step kind of what that will look like, and it'll take me a while to get some traction up there too.
And then with Coastside Gives, because you're one of the founding members of Coastside Gives, is that like giving up a baby when you feel like you're stepping away from it?
Yeah. And really, it's an analogy I use every Coastside Gives, is that Coastside Gives is like being pregnant, because towards the end I'm like, I hate this, I'm never doing this again. And then it happens and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing, we can't wait to do it again. And it is, but I also feel like there's a really passionate group of people that are willing to take that torch and move it on. And I try really hard when I volunteer somewhere to leave a structure and a framework, and if they want to do it the same, great. If they want to take it and make it their own, they should, but not to leave them high and dry. I really want to make sure that they have the opportunity and the resources to continue it on and make it their own. It shouldn't stay the same group of people forever.
Yeah.
It's like sending your baby away to college.
Totally.
Yeah. You just have to watch it from a distance now.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like last year hitting $10 million over 10 years was a really huge mile mark for me. I mean, I was massive dialing people for those last couple hours when we were getting so close, mostly because I wanted to be able to say like, okay, I did this thing with
a huge milestone. Yeah.
And now we're moving on.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Very cool. So where do you see your volunteer efforts shifting in the next few years, and any new things coming, or is it going to be more focus on the high school so you can kind of cherish these last couple of years with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably will follow my kids for a little while, and then be organic from there out. I definitely, I work on the Half Moon Bay Farm Day Committee too. I volunteer for that group. That's another really important group to me. The agriculture community here is a smaller group that is an important part of our foundation as who we are as Half Moon Bay. And so I'll continue to do some work there and follow my kids and see where it takes me.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, thank you for taking time and coming to hang out with us and have a beer and
Thank you.
give us your story.
And do you want to plug your business?
Tell the people where to find you.
Plug some
Yeah.
stuff?
I don't love that, but
Instagram.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
in Montara, GraphicWorks. Find us online and on Instagram.
Yep.
Love working with
Donate to Coastside Gives.
and donate to Coastside
Yeah.
Gives.
GraphicWorks, 1300 Main Street, Montara. Right.
That's it. Yep.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
I've been there.
We're getting the next logo.
I've been there. Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much for having me. It
Thank
was
you,
fun.
guys.
And thanks for listening.
Welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. This is the recap for Kelly Hoffman-Davis. And it's pretty crazy to think that we have two Hoffman families in
Yeah,
town.
no relation.
Started it with that, and we'll probably end with that too.
Kelly was incredibly cool, especially just seeing how much time she spends on philanthropy on the Coastside while also running business, raising a family.
And taking
Great.
time to come talk to a couple dumbasses
Yeah,
that
yeah.
banter on throughout the episode.
Yeah.
A lot of bantering this episode, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you don't, just skip it. You don't have to listen to us.
I think it was fun, though. I think you get to see some of our personality, and you definitely get to know her, because we got
Yeah.
to know her pretty well throughout the episode, just bantering back.
She was fun. She was giving
Yeah.
it right back. That's like
Yeah.
exactly what we'd want from
Yeah.
a guest. So,
So we thought it was
definitely.
good, so hopefully everyone else liked it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back into her philanthropy efforts, like it's pretty admirable what she's doing.
Yep.
3 to 5 nonprofits that she helps or works for or is the president of, and it's just like, damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
and then
crazy.
and then doing the Coastside Gives thing, which is for all of the nonprofits, which is insane.
Yeah,
And stepping down from that's got to be so weird. Like after being a founding member and like starting that all the way up until the time you raised $10 million for nonprofits on the coast, like just the coast.
yeah,
But it's going to be really cool seeing whatever she goes into next, because with the amount of experience and effort she's put into other projects,
yep.
like she was saying, if she wants to like focus on cougar boosters, then that'll be really cool to see how far she can go with that.
I totally forgot to talk to her about Ronnie and I's idea.
Oh yeah, you did forget it. You told her,
After-
you mentioned it.
But maybe that's something she's going to get into.
All right, well, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
no,
for
that was super fun. Kelly, thank you for coming on. Thank
Yep.
you guys for listening. We will see you next week. Or not next week, but the week after. Later.
All right, thanks for listening.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, we're brought to you by BikeWorks HMB, your one-stop shop for bike service, sales, and rentals in Half Moon Bay, California. Whether you're on the mountain, road, or low on battery, BikeWorks HMB has your back. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support this podcast, please feel free to reach out to us at betweenshiftspod@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. GT, signing off.